I want to start off by saying thank you for joining me this evening uh, as I deliver the speech on nonverbal communication. Today, I'm going to talk to you about three elements of nonverbal communication and how they impact your daily life with communicating with others communicating with you, and the signals that you give and receive based on nonverbal communication. You may recall that in the early to mid 90s, Allison Krauss and Union Station sang a song called You Say It Best When You Say Nothing at All. As awesome as a love song that is, and I love songs as much as the next guy, it may or may not be in my iTunes library. I'm not willing to confess that on this particular recording. Uh, but there was a line in that chorus of that song that said, "The smile on your face lets me know that you need me." And as corny and as sappy as that may sound to some listeners today, there is an element, there's a lot of truth in that line. The smile on our face can let someone know that they are needed, that they are wanted, that they are invited into our world. On the opposite side of that, the lack of a smile by us or someone else could say, "Get away from me. I don't need you. I don't want you. I do not want to be your friend." Communication works both ways. We have to discuss both sides of the coin. So, if you would, the 3 points of nonverbal communication that I want to cover today are paralanguage, kinesics, and proxemics. I'm going to start with paralanguage. Uh, Paralanguage covers not only what we say, it covers the underneath of that, the pitch that we use, the tempo that we use, the rhythm that we use, the intensity in our voice. You may be able to tell by the rhythm of my voice and by the way that I'm being very concise with my information that I am on a time schedule with this speech. You can pick up on cues like that. Maybe someone comes across you in a store and they're not trying to be short, but they've just got somewhere to be. You may do the same. Pitch in someone else's voice can show excitement. It can show confusion. Whatever they're feeling at the moment can be inflected by pitch. As I stated earlier, tempo can indicate that maybe they have other things to attend to. They're not trying to be rude to you. They're trying to fulfill their social obligation by saying hello at the store, but at the same time by getting on with what it is that they have to do. Intensity. Intensity can really deal with how welcome someone is in your world. It may be intensity can vary from a small whisper all the way to a scream. You know, a whisper would, say, "Come close. I want to tell you something personal, secretive." Whereas a scream would say, "Get away from me. You're unwelcome for whatever reason." For example, if someone was to break in my house, I'm not going to sit there and whisper, "Help, help. Someone call 911." No, I'm going to scream at the top of my lungs in order to gain attention to the situation. So that was how intensity can inflect the situation that I'm going through. I want to move on to kinesics, facial expressions. Man, oh man, is my wife and mother-in-law the queen, the queens, the co-queens. They co-throne. Uh, the queens of facial expressions. Their lips never have to tell a lie because their face tells the truth before they have the chance. If they're real happy about something, they get this like glittering look in their eye. If they're real displeased, you can imagine the facial expression. The facial expression fits whatever mood they have. So be aware of whatever facial expressions that you may share. Be aware of facial expressions that you're receiving because they may be able to tell you something that the person that you are communicating with will not say. I want to talk just for a brief second uh, about modern day facial expressions, technology facial expressions. Joanne Peck, associate professor of the Wisconsin School of Business, did a study on businesses' uses of emojis in marketing. And if you want to know more about that, You can find that at the University of Wisconsin School of Business website. You can do a quick Google search of Joanne Peck, study of emojis in business, and there's some good stuff there. So you may see marketing campaigns in your Facebook feed, your social media that they're trying to get you to feel a certain way by the use of emojis. So yes, emojis would fit into our facial expressions in the modern day, in the modern age that we live in. I want to move on to proxemics. Edward T. Hall. You may not be familiar with the name, but you will be familiar with some things that I'm about to share with you. Have you ever heard someone talk about their personal bubble? The personal bubble is the closest space that you can share with someone. If someone is letting you in their personal bubble, there is trust that is communicated, there is intimacy that is communicated, and it goes further out from their personal space. Is defined as 18 inches to 4 feet. If someone is familiar with you, but you're not quite intimate with that person, and it's okay. You don't need to be intimate with everyone. But social distance. Now we're accustomed to social distance being 6 feet due to COVID. Edward T. Hall defines social distance 4 to 12 feet. Let's use the example of Bill at Walmart. Bill's a guy that you know, but you're not real close with Bill. You and Bill don't have problems. You're just socially friendly. You see Bill across the aisle, you give Bill the old howdy wave. Bill, how you doing? How's the wife and them? How's your mom and them? And just check on them. And, that's the friendly social obligation. So those are the 3 examples of the social bubble. And how close someone lets you in their bubble indicates intimacy. But I want to conclude this speech by saying, watch your nonverbal cues. What you give, what you receive, it can tell you a lot about the people that you know that you don't know. And just know, by paying attention to your nonverbal cues, you can become a more effective communicator. Thank you for joining me this evening. God bless and good night.